And then what about folks that have those deferred judgments? So they get arrested for something and then they ended up getting a deferred judgment for whatever during their probation period to take a class or...
That will still show up. Let me see if I can find... That will still show up. So their arrest, whatever they're arrested for, will still show up in the arrest tab, however they are arrested. And then on the court section, it'll show deferred, dismissed, whatever action was taken after whatever they needed to complete. That'll show up in the court tab. If it doesn't, again, whatever reason it didn't attach, and they have the paperwork, they'll have to send it to us for us to update that. But that actual whatever they were arrested for does not ever change unless the agency that arrested them tells us to take it off. Things can attach to that cycle, but the actual whatever they were arrested for, even if they weren't charged at all, that stays on their rap sheet.
So anybody could just go and say, okay, Chief of Police, I had this deferred judgment, can you take this off? And they can. I was arrested for this, that, or or...
I mean, I guess they could try. The Chief of Police, the letter has to come from the Chief of Police, and it's usually because they erred. Like, they arrested someone, they booked some guy on the wrong charges entirely and didn't catch it until 3 months later, and so this guy who was brought in for a DUI now has sex assault and blah, blah, blah on it because they made the mistake. That's the kind of stuff they'll remove.
Oh.
If it's been deferred, and they usually will not remove that, just because of the deferred or dismissed, because the court updating will show everything that's happened.
What about that registered sex offenders, say it's deferred or dismissed?
If they're no longer required,
come
it comes off. If they're no longer to register, as long as they're supposed to register, if they're required to register as a sex offender anywhere in the state of Colorado, that will stay there. And that determination, if they're no longer, say, whatever county, but they're still supposed to another county, it'll stay on. If they're no longer, the court information will be sent to our program support unit, who will do all the research, just make sure he's not required any other state or any other county, and then if he's actually, or she, I guess I should say, are not actually required, it comes off.